In tonight's headlines, the inaugural Sha Tin Cycling Festival kicks off along the Shing Mun River early this morning, with a number of accidents observed. Successful applicants of Eminence Terrace I, the first dedicated rehousing estate completed under the Housing Society, will start getting their keys this month. And with less than 48 hours until the U.S. election day, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are intensifying their efforts in key battleground states.
The inaugural Sha Tin Cycling Festival kicked off along the Shing Mun River early this morning, with at least 9 men and 2 women injured during the race due to collisions and uneven roads. One of the incidents happened at around 7:20 a.m., when the cyclists from the professional group started their second lap. A rider lost control near the medical station, crashing into the tents and affecting over 10 riders, with most able to continue. 2 fell off their bikes and required immediate medical treatment. One of the injured had his head secured with a neck brace and was hiding his pain with his hand. After the match, this man said someone crashed into him from behind, causing him to lose control and flip over, and others fell on top of him. While in the second round, a rider tripped over a banner at the starting line, prompting staff to clear the area and aid the injured rider. Due to the ongoing incidents, the organizing committee reduced the number of laps from 25 to 12. The corners were uneven, and there was gravel on the road. I had seen the routes before, but the actual road is more bumpy than I thought, said this man. Cyclist veteran Ronald Young, also one of the race organizers, said he saw some bumps on the road before the race and had asked the highways department to fill them in to make sure the road was suitable for racing. Homegrown cycling legend Wang Campo said he saw most of the younger riders might be too excited and nervous during the race, leading to competitive scenes, and it was normal to have collisions during cycling races. Besides the cycling race, many cyclists also joined a cycling carnival at Yunwo Playground in the afternoon, with various activities such as boxing, rowing, and bowling games. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Eminence Terrace I, the first dedicated rehousing estate completed under the Housing Society's subsidized sale flats projects, has officially opened its doors to residents. The initiative is part of the government's ongoing efforts to deliver affordable housing solutions in response to the city's urgent housing crisis. Situated in the Hongshui-Q Ha-Chun New Development Area, this 27-story residential building comprises 300 apartments, ranging from 1 to 3 bedrooms. Applicants for the estate must not have owned or co-owned any domestic properties in Hong Kong and must not have received any housing subsidies from the government or related organizations. In parallel, Eminence Tower I, which provides subsidized rental housing under the same project, is now accepting applications. The building will offer 375 units, with a move-in date expected in the first quarter of next year. Concurrently, the Housing Society has 8 dedicated resettlement housing projects in the pipeline, aiming to provide approximately 10,000 units for both rental and sale in the new territories and urban areas over the next 5 years.
Financial Secretary Paul Chan said his recent trip to the Middle East facilitated several new cooperation initiatives, strengthening ties between Hong Kong and the Middle East in trade, finance, and innovation and technology. In his weekly blog, Chan said 2 exchange-traded funds tracking Hong Kong stocks were officially listed in Saudi Arabia, enhancing bilateral financial connectivity. Moreover, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and the Public Investment Fund signed a memorandum of understanding, with a target size of $1 billion aimed at investing in Hong Kong and Greater Bay Area enterprises operating in Saudi Arabia. During the visit, various agreements and memorandums of cooperation were signed between Saudi organizations and Hong Kong companies, such as Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks Corporation and Hang Seng Indexes Company. Chen said a series of achievements have given insight into the unique value of brand Hong Kong. Looking ahead, the finance chief stated that the government will continue to leverage Hong Kong's role as a superconnector and is actively discussing plans to hold the second Future Investment Initiative Asia Summit in the city next year.
Police arrested a 36-year-old non-Chinese man for allegedly robbing and assaulting an off-duty police officer in Yau Ma Tei early Saturday morning. Senior Inspector Solomon Ho of Yau Chim Mong District Crime Squad said the suspect had tried to rob the wallet of the off-duty policeman while using a sharp object to repeatedly stab him in the neck, hands and legs. He continued even after the victim had revealed himself to be an officer, with bystanders screaming at the assailant to stop his attack. The suspect ended up failing to rob and fled the scene. After an analysis of intelligence and a review of surveillance camera footage, police arrested the suspect at his home in Hong Kong later on the same day. The suspect, a holder of a reconnaissance form or going out pass issued by the Immigration Department, was detained for investigation. The assault took place outside number 348 Nathan Road in Yau Ma Tei at around 2 a.m. on Saturday. The victim received medical treatment at Queen Elizabeth Hospital afterwards and was discharged on the same day.
Saturday marked the start of a final, frenzied push by Democratic Kamala Harris, Republican Donald Trump, their running mates, and high-profile stand-ins to encourage people to vote on the upcoming election day on Tuesday. Continuing to woo voters in battleground states, the two rallied in Georgia and North Carolina with consistent tactics that have proven effective for turnout. The Harris campaign continued to lean on star power, featuring singer Alicia Keys with former First Lady Michelle Obama in Pennsylvania, while herself was joined by musician Jon Bon Jovi and actress Karen Washington in North Carolina. In an emotional speech at Atlanta, Georgia, the U.S. Vice President pictured herself as a unifier.
And here is my pledge to you. As President, I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to the challenges you face. I am not looking to score political points. I am looking to make progress.
She wrapped up her busy day with an appearance on Saturday Night Live to engage voters. Meanwhile, Trump also campaigned in North Carolina, continuing his criticism of Harris by calling her incapable and pledging to be a savior for America and the American dream.
I've come today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote on Tuesday, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of massive numbers of criminals that have come into our country. And I will bring back the American dream. We don't have the
As campaigning wound down, polls remained tight, but recent figures showed Harris leading Trump in Iowa, a traditionally red state that Trump won decisively in 2016 and 2020. Quentin Yang, Cable News. While much of the attention is on whether Harris or Trump will move into the White House, American voters will also decide who controls each chamber of Congress on the election day next Tuesday. The result is crucial as it will determine if the incoming leader gets a unified government to enact his or her agenda or bureaucratic deadlock. All 435 seats in the House of Representatives and 34 in the 100 Senate seats will be up for grabs. Republicans currently hold a majority in the House, while Democrats control the Senate, both by slim margins. Winning the Senate should be easy for the Republicans, as it only requires 2 more seats or 1 if Trump wins. With 1 seat nearly assured to be lost in West Virginia due to Senator Joe Manchin III not seeking re-election, Montana may cement their path back to a Senate majority if they can oust third-term Democrat Jon Tester. Polls show Tester has been left behind Republican Tim Sheehy, an ex-Navy SEAL, for 3 months. But Ohio is a tough seat to win, as Democrat Sherrod Braun, who is also in his 3rd term, seeks re-election. His rival Bernie Moreno has pissed off suburban female voters by calling them crazy to care about abortion access earlier in September. Meanwhile, controlling the House requires a majority of 218 seats, but neither shows a clear advantage according to polls. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
The record-breaking rainfall and flash floods that hit Spain had claimed more than 200 lives, including 2 Chinese nationals confirmed by the Chinese embassy in Spain, while 2 others were missing. 5 days after the tsunami-like wave of water torn through the southern outskirts of Valencia city, cleanup task ahead is enormous, with many communities covered with sticky, thick mud. In the most hit-hard town of Payaporta, damages were seen everywhere, with local media calling it the ground zero of the floods. Spain's military emergency unit and volunteers continued to search for bodies in flooded car parks and vehicles. Water pumps were deployed to pump water out of buildings and parking lots, while heavy machinery and excavators helped in clearing cars off the streets. In a televised speech, the country's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez described the disaster as the most serious flooding that the continent has seen so far this century. He also announced the dispatchment of 5,000 more soldiers to join rescue efforts. The government is also expected to approve a disaster declaration on Tuesday that will allow quick access to financial aid. According to Sanchez, 4,800 people were rescued and more than 30,000 people were being helped. Bess Leung, Cable News.
Thousands of people gathered at the Tai Kok Tsui Temple Fair, a full day of colorful celebrations dedicated to Hong Shing, the god of the sea, to enjoy the festive atmosphere of lion and dragon dances, folklore booths, and a Pun Choi feast. Earlier today, 18 dancing lions hit Fuk Tun Street, where a festive parade was held with nearly 1,000 participants, bringing good fortune to the neighborhood. At the temple fair, a series of booths sold trinkets, doll figurine sculptures, and handmade crafts. Alice Mack, Secretary for Home and Youth Affairs, said the temple fair promoted the traditional culture and showcased the Tai Kok Tsui community's unique style and spirits, providing distinctive local experience to visitors. The festive atmosphere stretched into the evening, with a grand feast of Pun Choi. A traditional Cantonese festival meal consists of a variety of ingredients such as meat, seafood, and vegetables in a big pot being served to 1,000 people, with Secretary for Security Chris Tang being one of the guests. Wrapping up the night will be the highly anticipated 500 feet Hong Kong's longest luminous LED dragon dance performance and Sha Tau Kok fish lantern dance. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.